Welcome to a very special episode of Your Creative Chord Podcast, where creativity and inspiration meet transformation. I'm Jenny Lee Hodgins, your guide on this authentic path to finding your creative chord. Today, we're sharing the heart of something truly special. In episode 47, titled A Poetic Path to Finding Hope, I revealed the backstory of a passion project close to my heart, my upcoming book, Kaleidoscope of the Heart, a poetry and lyrics collection. This book is far more than just a collection of words. It's a testament to the rejuvenating power of friendship, the therapeutic value of creativity, and the transformative impact of forging belief in oneself. Despite the whirlwind of responsibilities as a board president and a dedicated caregiver, I persisted in my deeply personal journey to express gratitude to a dear friend who served as a lifeline and illuminated my path during years of struggle. Over 4 intense months, amidst the chaos of my busy life, I pored over my poetry and lyrics, weaving together a tapestry of human drama and insight. But this process wasn't just about crafting a gift. It was a revelation, a rediscovery of my own creative potential, and a celebration of the inherent power within each of us. Today, I invite you to join me as we explore the profound journey behind Kaleidoscope of the Heart. Through the lens of poetry and lyrics, we'll uncover the expansive power of self-empowerment and the boundless possibilities within the human heart. So please sit back, take a few deep breaths, and prepare to be inspired, because within the pages of Kaleidoscope of the Heart, beyond words, you'll encounter the light that speaks to you from within your own voice. You'll start to realize an unlimited source of hope and creativity when you allow yourself to embrace authentic expression. Thank you for joining me on this episode, which is so close to my heart. Let's get started. Welcome to Your Creative Chord Podcast, where we unlock creative flow, celebrate the artist within, and find inspiration in every moment. I'm your host, Jenny Lee Hodgins, and the voice behind Your Creative Chord, where we blend creative living with transformation. I'm here to guide you with empowering stories, insights, and practical tips to fuel your creative life. We're in this together, from overcoming stage fright to changing obstacles into possibilities to finding your unique voice. In episode 47, A Poetic Path to Finding Hope, I shared the backstory of my upcoming book, Kaleidoscope of the Heart, a poetry and lyrics collection. It all began with a true friend who selflessly, yet honestly, supported me through a long chapter of challenges, constantly reminding me to believe in myself. Despite a grueling schedule as a board president and live-in caregiver for my mother, and while preparing to launch my podcast and online courses, in gratitude, I determined to create a meaningful gift for my friend, gathering my poetry and lyrics over 4 hectic months. And during this process, I began to see the depth and volume of my creative output. This led me to a newfound perspective on my work. Reading my own words deepened my faith, reinforcing my belief in my creative potential and life. It further inspired me to acknowledge the potential in each individual. It showed me how powerfully one individual's voice can influence another. This revelation led me to compile my poetry into a full book, aiming to share the transformative power of authentic expression and connection through poetry and lyrics. Kaleidoscope of the Heart is not just a collection of words. It's a rock-solid testament to friendship, the capacity for self-empowerment, and the power of art to move one's heart. Through this book, I aim to inspire you to welcome your authentic voice and tap into the creative potential within you. I divided the verses of my book, Kaleidoscope of the Heart, into chapters that reflect overarching themes and messages. These chapter titles include nature, relationships, alone, artist life, loss, doubt, and hope. The final chapter, lyrics, covers multiple themes. My nature chapter features the beauty and timeless wisdom of the natural world and animals. I also used imagery from nature to illustrate the feelings and personalities I encountered. My relationship chapter reflects the spectrum of my engagement with people in my life, from beautiful friendships to tormented romances to heartbreaking dysfunctional histories to those that strengthened my confidence in myself and the power of sharing life with and learning from others. In my artist life verses, I express my identity and experience as an artist. Whether through composing music or songs, poems or stories, creating designs from my love of nature photography, or performing as a pianist or vocalist, the artist life chapter reveals attunement to my poetic spirit. This artistic sensibility brings dramatic swings of both joy and suffering, all of which ultimately contribute to a meaningful life. In my doubt and hope chapters, I express the necessary path to victory through facing adversity. These chapters also reflect my inner battle to develop perspective and confidence through life's inevitable ups and downs. I've experienced the loss of many friends and family members way too soon. Several of these were sudden and unexpected deaths of people who provided me with the greatest love and support. My loss chapter reveals the painful path through loss and grief that ultimately leads to a deeper comprehension of life and death and the interconnectedness of both. These verses are not for the faint of heart, but I find from my own viewpoint that facing these experiences through poetic expression brings a level of comfort and strength. These verses lighten the load of suffering through loss. And finally, my lyrics section contains a variety of themes that I set to music. From adversity to unrequited love, to the joyful meeting of hearts, to the awe of life's beauty, to my resolute prayer to rise up strong, my songs sing of life's full dramatic narrative. I chose the title Kaleidoscope of the Heart, a poetry and lyrics collection, because the word kaleidoscope symbolizes the ever-changing and boundless possibilities within our lives. I also used the phrase of the heart because my verses express my personal feelings amid these constantly shifting changes. The beauty of symmetry and reflections that a kaleidoscope provides also parallels both my voice, my writings are personal reflections, and the natural rhythmic patterns found in poetic words. The title reflects the gamut of life's dramatic turns and the deeply felt, personal yet shared human experience expressed through my verses. Today, I'll give you a sneak peek of my book through a few personal readings. I will highlight a few key verses that capture the essence of the book and its core themes. For example, from my artist life chapter, the poem On Writing expresses both the value of acknowledging the artist's life within and the sense of empowerment that emerges from wrestling with the vulnerability of genuine expression. Here's my poem On Writing. Release from the torment of bottled emotions and anxious mental analyzing. The world grows, intrigues, and reveals meaning that permeates beyond your limitations of reality. Unveil your true self, and your deepest wisdom arises. Fulfill your potential as a creative, as a human, as you are. Even if beginning as though a zombie sucked spiritless from the monotonous drone of daily responsibility, feel the breath of life arising from within. Your precious dreams awaken your heart and soul to beat joyfully once again. Become enveloped in love, bound by a spiritual thread to a source of unending compassion for self and others. Awaken to purpose in your vulnerability and truth as an authentic link to others. The following poems, Empty, Grief, and To Remember You, from the Loss chapter of Kaleidoscope of the Heart, represent the universal experience of loss and grief. I wrote these in my real-time processing of cherished friends and family members deaths, most of whom died unexpectedly and too young. Here is my reading of my poem, Empty. It's empty, like opening the door, but no one is there. Awkward and odd, like waking up in an unfamiliar place, expecting the usual. Eerie, to see everyone I love so dearly in normal circumstances carrying on like they have holes in their hearts hidden beneath the chatter. There is a loud elephant in every room, roaring your absence, the void. We are circus trainers, put upon to catch this wild animal of loss without nets or whips for protection. Feels like falling without a net, dropping from my fear of heights, blundering into the darkness alone, and yet we are together without you. It's empty, like the moment when the sun disappears and night begins. Quiet and still, but the memories and emotion overwhelm with fullness. I speak to you within my heart as if our dialogue never stopped. I listen for your voice from within the rustle of leaves and rain. I hear nothing, but feel it all. It's empty. My poem, Grief, goes like this. That hit hard in a place I'm not ready to face. Too heavy a pain, can't take it again. The loss of you out of the blue. Now I know how I've distanced me to hide from the depths of this truth that I've really lost you. It's like a nonstop scream, and I don't know what it means to release it, to let go of the sorrow. I'm low like I've never been before. This time I can't ignore, 'cause it shakes through me like a storm of hail and ice, unexpectedly cold and sharp, with no protection for my heart, and I cannot run away from this. I push away, but still I miss you and all our lost moments. Grief is nothing but torment. I've no choice but to go straight through everything I feel about me and you, so huge, so thick, so foggy and gray, too intense, too much for me to say. Yet I still clumsily cling to words like, I love you, how dare you, I'm sorry, and why. Finally, there is my poem, To Remember You, which I composed in honor of my brother John, who died in a car accident 10 days before his 29th birthday in 2004. Though John was 12 years younger than me, we had a beautifully easy rapport. I felt his heartfelt support in poignant moments, usually without words. John would make his way to give me a huge bear hug. No words were necessary. I always felt seen and heard by my dear bro, who was a gifted poet and also held a deep reverence for nature. Here's the poem, To Remember You. If I had my own little space where I could sit and have some peace, I would take my sweet time and just breathe and breathe all the fresh air around me. And this would be my place of refuge, where no one could bother me. And I would use my memories with all their colors and volume and those moments of silence to remember you. If I had my own creative home where I could lie and dream my dreams, I would weave you golden stories and sing you melodies. All the music pulsing within my heart would bring you home inside of me, where no one could interfere, and I would use our time there with all its leisure and meaning and those rhythmic beats between us to remember you. If I had my own secret tree where I could climb high to see the view, I would look up at you and just send you love like a butterfly paints its pattern in the sky. And this would be my solace and comfort, where only you would see me, and I would use our spiritual thread to sew beautiful tapestries and wrap them tightly around me to remember you. I believe you are right beside me, in the air I breathe, in the sky so free, in the ocean that rolls around the earth, in the wings of every bird. I believe you were meant to be forever wrapped around my soul, a spring of love wherever I go to remember you. Pardon me for briefly interrupting the show. Jenny Lee Hodgins here, Your Creative Chord Podcast host. Before we plunge back into today's episode, I just really wanted to sincerely thank you for your support. Your Creative Chord Podcast is not just a platform for sharing ideas, it's a community of like-minded individuals who are passionate about nurturing their creative potential and living inspired lives. I encourage you to engage with Your Creative Chord and me on Facebook, share your thoughts and experiences, and connect with fellow listeners who share your interests. Together, we can create a vibrant and supportive community where creativity thrives. I am super excited to announce the launch of my book, Kaleidoscope of the Heart, a poetry and lyrics collection, which launches on June 4, 2024 on Amazon. If you'd like to support Your Creative Chord Podcast and my book launch, please click the link on your podcast app to share Your Creative Chord Podcast with others you think would enjoy the inspiration. Thank you so much. I also have a special gift for you. I've selected verses from Kaleidoscope of the Heart to inspire and uplift you through the ups and downs of daily life. Download your complimentary 4-poem sampler ebook excerpted from Kaleidoscope of the Heart and join Your Creative Chords community and Creative Currents newsletter at yourcreativechord.com/poetry. My poem, Holding Steady, from the Doubt chapter of my book, shows the battle we face internally against doubt and difficulties and to reestablish faith in ourselves. Here's my reading of the poem, Holding Steady. Jittery, quivery, rockety, rickety, pulsing off beat, breathing out heat, shaky, like whirling leaves, craziness interweaves into my thinking. I have no inkling, just want my nerve, poise to conserve. Lost like sheep, hill too steep, reaching, gripping while I'm slipping, holding to my core, faithful anchor, never shifts, never drifts, always there, just like air. Drawing in, once again, I'm on solid ground. Suddenly have found steadiness like rock, breakthrough to my block, solid root, my life, powerful inside, holding steady, to be ready, overqualified for the next ride. From the Hope chapter of my book, my short poem, Never Give Uppers, speaks of our ability to forge resilience and keep going despite difficulties. Here's Never Give Uppers. Never give uppers. I'm just like them because they refuse to quit. They won't stop trying. They believe in a fresh start, find strength in hard places, bounce like rubber hits the sidewalk, tick on like the second hand on a clock, turn failure into the next motivation for success because they push open the groaning doorway of obstacles to reach the vast field of hope beyond the threshold. My poem, Invincible, also from the Hope chapter, expresses our limitless potential for emerging victoriously when we forge a resolute mindset. Here's invincible. We are steel, forged by fire. We quench the thirst of our desire. We are the wind that blows the gale. Our power is infinite. It never fails. We are invincible. Our strength is we believe that there is nothing we cannot achieve. The strength we have comes from within. To never lose, we resolve to win. In life's boundless depths, beyond reason and thought, lies the universal answer to all the questions we've sought. I am invincible, and so are you. With dauntless conviction, our dreams will come true. My book, Kaleidoscope of the Heart, comprises numerous poems and lyrics that I've penned throughout my life. I feel grateful to have the therapeutic power of writing my thoughts and feelings. Writing has helped me get in touch with my emotions, revive and persist toward my deepest dreams and hopes, and survive hard times. I've always been in touch with my artistic nature. I have felt things far too deeply, and from how I compared myself to others. I now recognize that part of me as being deeply in touch and sensitive to my feelings and those of others. Sensitivity and being in touch with one's heart are great treasures. Writing my thoughts and feelings has helped me process and endure challenging times and commemorate precious moments. This vulnerable effort to communicate leads to the creation of art, poetry, music, dance, theater, and literature. I also wrote about the events, people, and changes in my life as a way to honor myself and others. Sometimes, though, I wrote just to survive situations and make sense of events. I often wrote to dump out my negative mindset on paper. Fortunately for my mental wellness, and in conjunction with my SGI Buddhist practice that I started in 1987, my artistic manifestations, whether they're words or music, gravitate toward the positive through the writing process. Themes of endurance, perseverance, determination, resilience, appreciation, joy, hope, wonder, and optimism have become recurring threads throughout my works. Organizing all my verses was a trying ordeal, though. Sorting through each verse, cutting out lesser quality pieces, editing and formatting each entry, and arranging them into thematic chapters was no easy task, especially since my extremely busy schedule would not let up. I juggled roles as a board president and caregiver while practicing piano daily and preparing to relaunch my podcast and move forward full thrust as an author and online course creator. But I was driven by some internal madness that perpetually pushed me forward. I was determined to use this project to repay my debt of gratitude to my friend, whose encouragement inspired it. And I was determined to complete the book as a way to appreciate my own potential and dreams as a creator. These inner forces propelled me forward. It was emotionally intense. Like every poem and lyric took me down memory lane to literally relive entire chapters and relationships of my life. It takes a certain stamina to complete a book and to face your life in whole, excruciatingly detailed chapters. All in all, though, as I read through my works, I was flat out inspired by my ceaseless creative energy and the relentless spirit within my writings. The whole ordeal awed me with the power of an individual's voice. There are poems and lyrics that I didn't include, and they may find their way into a future collection, but I feel proud of myself for completing and launching Kaleidoscope of the Heart. I originally concluded the project because I'd given myself a deadline to gift my friend. Now I am sharing this monumental project with you, and I hope you hear my voice and that it inspires you to use yours. I hope you've enjoyed this exclusive content and the sneak peeks of verses from the book. I invite you to join Your Creative Chords community to get exclusive content, future early book access, and behind-the-scenes insights into my works and from the wonderful guests featured on Your Creative Chord podcast. Please share your thoughts, questions, or favorite poems from the collection. I would love to hear your takeaways. Kaleidoscope of the Heart, a poetry and lyrics collection, launches today, June 4, 2024. Please stay tuned for more opportunities to engage further with my work, such as upcoming readings on the podcast and on my Facebook Monday Lives. And if you missed the earlier episodes in my poetry series, please check out episode 47, A Poetic Path to Finding Hope. I share my backstory for the book, a few poems on hope, and personal reflection prompts for you to tap into your inner poet and power. You may also enjoy more sneak peek of personal readings in my poetry series. You may find all of these episodes at my website, yourcreativechord.com. That's C-H-O-R-D, like a piano chord. yourcreativechord.com. Your Creative Chord Podcast may also be found on all major listening platforms. If you enjoyed my poetry and would like to purchase Kaleidoscope of the Heart, you may find it on Amazon starting today. You may also help me continue creating inspiring content through the podcast and future books and courses by sharing this podcast with others and by leaving a review. You can scroll to the bottom of the podcast on your podcast app and then just click on Write a Review. Reviews really help me spread the word and grow Your Creative Chord. So thank you so much for taking time to leave a review. You may also support Your Creative Chord Podcast through our monthly subscription at the link in the show notes. You can donate as little as $3 a month, and you may cancel at any time. To offer your support, just go to yourcreativechord.com/support. My new book, Kaleidoscope of the Heart, is a must-read for anyone seeking inspiration, reflection, or authentic expression. Thank you for purchasing it, or sharing it with others, or both. I sincerely appreciate all your help with getting my book out into the world. As we conclude this special episode, I want to express my bottom of my heart gratitude to each and every one of you for joining me on this fascinating venture. Your support and enthusiasm for Kaleidoscope of the Heart means so much to me. I'm simultaneously excited, nervous, and humbled by the opportunity to share this work with you. As my poetry and lyrics collection makes its way into the world, I'm excited about the conversations it may spark, the connections it will forge, and the inspiration it will bring to readers far and wide. Your Creative Chord is more than just a podcast and a website. It's a community of kindred spirits united by a shared passion for creative self-expression and positive transformation. I invite you to stay connected with me to nourish our poetic spirits. Let's continue exploring the boundless possibilities of our imaginations together, supporting each other every step of the way. Remember, creative flow and endless possibilities lie within each of us, waiting to be voiced. Thank you once again for your wonderful support. Here's to the power of poetry, music, and all art forms, and the endless potential within each human heart. Until next time, know that your light continues to shine brightly from within. Take care and talk with you soon on Your Creative Chord.